Well, it's been a huge week in radio. Welcome back to This Week in Radio. My name's Max, and it's actually been a huge day in radio as well. But we started off the week with some unexpected news that intern Pete would be joining Christian O'Connell. And Smallsy arrived at ARN Regional, which was also unexpected. It's actually been a big week for ARN, to be completely honest. But yeah, Smallsy, he'd actually be on there in about an hour as of time that recording this podcast. So he's now on ARN Regional from 7 to 8 p.m, only on Fridays, and also adding to ARN Regional on Mondays now, the Chat G&T podcast by KISS 97.3 Workday announcer Georgie Markwild. She'll be doing that podcast. There'll be a replay for 1 hour on Monday nights from 7 to 8 p.m. So this is sort of like a replacement, I'm guessing, for the Carl and Jackie O Hour of Power. But yesterday I interviewed intern Pete from Carl and Jackie O, and we had a great chat about his new role at the Christian O'Connell Show and about his career in radio so far. So you can check that out wherever you get your podcasts. Also at ARN, oh goodness, it's been an ARN full week. 4CA has celebrated 90 years on air. I interviewed the Cairns content director, so he manages 4CA and Star 102.7, Mark Hine. You can check out that interview as well. And yep, over at the Super Radio Network, 2MG has started online streaming in Mudgee. So from what I can understand, doing work experience at 2SM, so a few of the stations do have the online streaming on the website, but they're adding them on one by one. So it's great to see 2MG, and I think Real FM, the sister station, is that'll be something that happens in the near future. Online streaming for that station over there. But the big news across the Win Radio Network, Ned and Josh, following 7 successful weeks on Illawarra's I-98 Drive, they're now stepping into a new show across the Win Network. It's Ned and Josh at Night. They're doing the nighttime show from 7 to 9 p.m, launching on Monday, 18th of May. And that's very, very good to see that Ned and Josh are returning to radio fully. They were doing Canberra Breakfast on, Hit 104.7, I want to say. Yeah, that sounds right to me. They were doing Canberra Brekkie on Hit 104.7. And last but not least, Bianca Dye is returning to radio on Kiss Breakfast. She's taking the chair and following Mayo doing this week. And so she's announced that her alarm will be set early again. Bianca Dye has done radio for a long time. She was on Kiss 97.3 for a bit, and she's worked across major metro markets. And she said, I'm heading to Sydney to fill in for a stint on the Carl and Jackie O Show on Kiss Breakfast in Melbourne and Sydney. After 32 years in broadcasting, 14 of it in breakfast radio, it feels really bloody cool to be back in a studio doing what I love most, even if it is keeping the seat warm just for the next guest host. And I'll actually be seeing her at the awards night, the radio awards night on the 28th of May. Her and Mitch Churi are going to be hosting the night, emceeing the night, so that'll be great to be there in that night, seeing a lot of the great Australian audio talent.